Welcome back, Natural Resources. So as we know, soil particles, so we have our sand, silt, and our clay, these combine to create a specific texture. And there are a variety of different textures we can have. And these are located on the textural triangle over to the right. And this is something that you're going to become very familiar with and know how to use by the end of this unit. We can conduct two different tests to determine the soil texture. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. That's the lab method and the ribbon test method. Minnesota soils tend to vary depending on the region of the state. And it's important for us to know soil texture before planting, constructing, and harvesting resources, simply because we know that different soils are better for different things, right? We know that some types of soils are going to be better at retaining water, like we just talked about previously. So if they're better at retaining water, do you think that's better for growing crops? Or maybe for building septic tanks, right? There's lots of different things that we need to consider when we are building, constructing, planting, etc. Okay. So the textural triangle over to the right is something that we're going to utilize a lot. And on this next slide here, we're going to learn how to texture using a textural triangle. So let's practice. And I wish that I had the ability to write on the board for you guys. I can't do that. I can't record myself writing on the board either. With the Promethean boards, we can't do that, unfortunately. But kind of bear with me and we'll get through this. So let's determine the soil types of these. So the first one is 40% clay, 50% sand, 10% silt. Okay. So we see our clay over on the left-hand side of the triangle. Okay. Clay lines are going to go straight across like this. See that? And there's a 70 line, a 75 line, an 80 line, an 85 line, so on and so forth. On this side, on the right side of the textural triangle, we have silt. Silt goes down 10, 20, 30, and these are diagonal lines. And then sand on the bottom is also diagonal lines, and it starts at 10% over here, 20% over here, 30%, etc. So the problem wants us to figure out the soil texture of 40% clay, 50% sand, 10% silt. So 40% clay is going to be over here. Okay, so 40% right here. We'll go all the way across. This is our 40% line. Okay. Then we know that the silt is, or the sand, excuse me, is 50%. So we'll go down here, 50% sand. We'll follow this line to the 40% line right here. And we can double check, okay? That 10% silt line intersects right here. See that? So we know that we are in sandy clay. That soil texture, 40% clay, 50% sand, and 10% silt is sandy clay. Let's try another one together, and then I want you to do the third one on your own, okay? 30% clay, 20% sand, 50% silt. So we go over to our clay first. Clay is 30%. Sand is 20%, so we have to go all the way over here. And then we can guess and check and confirm that our silt is at 50% right here. Perfect. So this tells us that our textural triangle is, or our texture is silty clay loam for 30% clay, 20% sand, 50% silt. Okay. Now I would like you to hit pause and try this last one on your own, and then we'll see how you did. All right. Hopefully you had an opportunity to complete that last texture on your own. Let's do it together real quick. So 60% clay right here, 20% sand right about here, and 20% silt. Oops. Mr. Ramson's off a little bit. It's kind of hard to see on the computer screen when you're not writing it down. But yeah, right about here, this is going to be clay. That's an easy one. So 60% clay, 20% sand, 20% silt is a clayey soil. Okay, good job. So we are going to stop there for now, and we will come back and learn about the different methods for texturing in the next video.